Welcome back to Capital Today, live on Capital TV with me, Ben Ibrahim, and rejoining us in the studio is Mr. Patrick Cheng, who is the Managing Director and founder of MyElephant Thai Restaurant, a very, very famous restaurant in the Klang Valley of Malaysia, but not for too much longer because, Patrick, thank you again for being with us and staying with us, but apparently you're opening up a new restaurant or another location in February this year.
13th of February.
13th of February.
In
Interesting
USJ.
date.
In USJ 9.
Okay.
It's our new joint venture because we realized that as the business grow, I can't clone myself to run so many outlets. We take in business partners to help us oversee the business. So the USJ 9 outlet will be our first project after the centralized kitchen that we've been doing in 2013.
Right.
So we spent the whole year in 2013 trying to build up the kitchen so that we can function more efficiently, and cost-wise, it's also more efficiently for the outlets. So it's easier for the future growth of the company.
Now, Patrick, business question, business learning question, as I like to say. Before one expands to another restaurant, what kind of business factors do you have to consider, and what kind of homework needs to be done before the operation opens up?
Okay, can I take my Hartamas outlet for
Please,
example?
we're all about examples. Examples are great,
When
Patrick.
we did Section 17, it was let's go, let's do. We will take challenges as it comes. For Hartamas, we actually spent a little bit more than a year to scout the location and to find the right place and the right business partners to go about to run the place. And also we study the people around. What is their spending habits? How long do they sit in the place when they come in? Because in Section 17, patrons come, they don't spend more than 45 minutes. Sometimes it's 45 minutes to an hour. Whereas in Hartamas, we know that patrons will sometimes tend to sit an hour and a half to 2 hours, kind of thing. So the business model has to be slightly twitched, and the way they spend on things, items, is a different mix, because the population is very mixed in the Hartamas Mount Kiara area compared to the Section 17. So for each outlet, we actually tend to look at what sort of customer base is there and how we can actually be part of that community. That's why USJ 9 is one that we've had in our minds for a while, that this area. So we did our study, and even the location, we are never at the most prime location.
Right.
We like the idea that we are more family oriented.
Yeah, I must say, when I first went to your PJ outlet, I got lost several times.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's not your fault. But like you said, and because I got lost, and because many other people got lost, we will never forget the journey about to get at the same time.
So that was something that we used it to a positive way. We try to, when people call in to find a place, we can. Back then, we could ask them, oh, this is how you get here. We have some special, so we can interact with our customers.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing. That's a really good strategy.
Well, but as we grow right now, we are more structured. Back then, it was, we have an idea. Let's be subjective. Let's get on it. And so now we take less risk. So we plan out a little bit more what we need financially, how much we need to start a company, how much renovation it's going to be, how many seatings per outlet.
Okay. Now, you mentioned earlier that very much you do want to interact with your customers and you do want to talk to them. However, before interacting and talking to them, you studied certain patterns. Now, something like this, many big companies, like many multinational organizations or big organizations, they could hire an AC Nielsen or market research company to do all this. But in the restaurant business, sometimes you don't have that luxury or that financial luxury to such a resource. So how do you do it? How do you do your own market research study? Do you sit in a restaurant, put a stopwatch on and look at patterns and ratios or whatnot?
From our POS system, you get data.
Okay.
You can even find out at which hour, what sort of customers you are getting, what sort of food they get. So that's statistics that we look into. That's how I know with the top 1 plus sales just as well as the green curry comes in. And besides that, back then online we get data as well, because we use social media to promote ourselves. Most of the social media has this kind of data that we can retrieve. So we know what sort of age group is looking at us, what are our clients, whether they're students or are they family members or or working class people that comes in. So we do look at it. Back then we don't look at it as much, but now we have. I like to say we have more help within the company. So we were able to study a bit deeper.
Okay. Now, what's your plans in terms of ambition for this new location? Some entrepreneurs, they have very, huge ambitions when they first start in a new outlet. And sometimes because they're too over-ambitious, sometimes, and God forbid it won't happen to you, sometimes they don't achieve their targets. But what's your philosophy? Start small, grow big, or just go big and grow even bigger?
Well, I'm not a very big person physically, so the plan is always to start small and grow from there within our capacity. So, like
say capacity, resources,
and even as if you can get, even if you have the money to grow, you don't want to take too much risk. Right now, it's no longer, I can go back to my day job. It's no longer, yes, let's do this anymore. Let's be more careful. We don't want to see this fail. This is something that we love, and we want to continue doing this for as long as we can. And growing means that you have to be safer. I keep going back to my centralized kitchen. That's one of the reasons why
successful case study, isn't it?
We want to make sure that all our food quality is the same, and also safe. How we less people handling food, it's less probability of bad things happen. So that's what we want to learn from this. So as in terms of growing further, we do want to expand, but we do not want to expand to a point that the consumers are bored of us. That means they know, MyElephant again. So
too predictable.
Yes. Yeah. So we want to be where when people want Thai food, they would come to the community, and we are in the community that they are in, and it's available for them.
Right. So all the best to that expansion. Very much. I hope it all goes well and all bodes well for your restaurants as well. But very much the menus are going to be extremely identical to the other locations.
Yes. Yeah. We a year ago we tried the system whereby we have some specialty only within that outlet. But then we've realized that why not each outlet have all these things? I am sure you wouldn't want to travel from Angpang all the way to USG9 just to eat one specialty when you can actually get it at the Section 7.
Not particularly. Yeah. I love your food, but distance sometimes is a bit troublesome, they say.
So by consolidating all our best sellers, we're able to come up with a menu that wherever you go to MyElephant, you get the same experience.
Now, Patrick, a question for the business fans out there. As a business person, I'm sure you have, or every successful business person, especially yourself, I'm sure you have a plan A. If plan A doesn't work, go to plan B or plan C. In the restaurant business, because sometimes you have to think so quickly on your feet, because you never know if 50 customers are just going to walk in like that, as an example. How many plans should you have when running a successful hospitality restaurant business?
I would say maybe plan A and plan B, okay? And keep it simple and make sure plan A don't fail. Because as you said, when as you had mentioned, if 50 people come in, people will get upset if they don't get the service they need.
Right.
Okay, that was one of the reasons why we opened Hatamas, because we had more than we could. There was just people wanting to come in, and we had a very small restaurant. So somewhere nearby, we could cater for it, because once with food, we said 10 minutes down the road, it's there, and you can get the same experience.
Right.
So that was why Hatamas was a little bit closer, and it meets the client group that we were doing. So that was also how we learned that why within a community you can actually be comfortable. and you can be able to serve people.
Now, Patrick, we notice that some entrepreneurs, they like to diversify. If they're in banking, they might go to insurance as a sub-business, and then they might go into sports as another, and so forth and so forth. For yourself, as a business owner, a successful business owner, I might add, what's your view about maybe expanding the business to other facets of the hospitality industry, maybe catering, or providing that room service delivery, or that another form of a hospitality restaurant food and beverage service? Any plans for that, or what's your views on that?
Okay, the initial blueprint in Section 17, we wanted to do delivery.
Okay.
But of course, at that point in time, manpower was an issue.
Yes.
Right now, we are looking in the third quarter of 2014 to move into...
That's not very far away, yeah.
It's been planned to move into nearby delivery.
Okay.
So that
within the location.
Within the location.
Okay.
So we will be able to tap into a familiar market, but it's something new, but it's still familiar. We're still doing Thai food. We're not going into another genre altogether. So we are looking into how this will help us as well as the community as a whole. Yes, delivery is in our plans for the third quarter of this year.
Okay. Well, Patrick, thank you very much for your time and your very busy schedule and coming onto our show and sharing with us about the MyElephant experience, and all the best for your February the 13th launch. I'm sure it'll go very, very well, and God willing that many, many customers will walk through your doors, not just this year, but every day, 365 days of the year, every year. Thank you once again.
Thank you, man.
We've spoken to Patrick Cheng, everybody, who is the founder and managing director of MyElephant Thai Restaurant. If you haven't had a taste of MyElephant Thai Restaurant, well, please go on down, because from a personal experience, the service and the food is absolutely fantastic. We're just going to take a very short commercial break, but when we come back, more business news to share with you on Capital Today. Don't go away, we'll see you soon.